Okay, perfect. Okay, so Uruguay. Uruguay is one of the few countries that is really, it's predominantly European. They don't even have a religion in the country. However, 46% of them practice Catholicism. It's one of the few countries that isn't, predominantly Catholic. Mostly Europeans, all the Native Americans gone out of Uruguay. They ran them out. When we talk about Uruguay, the biggest river in Uruguay is the Rio Negro. And this is super important because here's the Rio Negro, and as it comes down, it hooks up with the Rio Parana, which is also an important river in Paraguay. And the reason it's important is because a lot of shipping is done on the rivers, not to mention the fact that a lot of hydroelectric, the energy is collected and then it's sold to other countries. And so that helps. Uruguay is one of the least corrupt countries in all of Latin America. It's number 2 to Chile. And it's one of the 45th best off countries in regards to like wealth and what the people can afford. It was the first school ever in the world in 2009 to give every kid a computer and wireless capabilities. I think that's pretty cool. Most of the people live in what we call adobe houses. And adobe is made out of what?
Mud.
Mud and straw. And so a lot of the homes, like when you look them up on the internet, it looks a lot like southwestern United States, like Arizona, New Mexico. It's kind of interesting. I told you gauchos, the cowboys are here in Uruguay. That's because of the beef production. There are 3 cows to every person living in Uruguay. 3 cows to every person. And so one of their main dishes there is a steak sandwich. It's called a chivito. And it's commonly ate by a lot of the people around. Another common piece is mate. Mate isn't food, it's a drink. And we didn't talk about it in Argentina, so I just wanted to bring it up because there's lots to talk about with Argentina. Lots, right? So mate is what most people in Uruguay, Argentina, other places in South America drink. Those gauchos, each one of those gauchos has a special mate cup. And they have a special mate straw. And what happens is it's loose tea leaves. They get put into the drink, and then steaming hot water goes on top of that mate. And then you take a special straw called a bombilla, and it has, it's like a circle on the bottom, and you can smash down the tea leaves so that the flavor is released out of it. And then they always put milk in the tea with it as well. And then when they go to drink it, it actually strains the tea leaves. They get stuck in the bombilla and the straw so that it can't be sucked up by the person. But mate's drank many times during the day. Many, many times. And so that is another common beverage in Uruguay. One more thing with Uruguay, beaches. If it's not known for its Gran Chaco, the ability to produce some awesome beef, it's also known for its beaches. So it attracts a lot of people. A lot of people. And I thought this was kind of a neat little sculpture to bring up in regards to it. Let's move on to Paraguay. I noticed that both names sound pretty similar, don't they? What word do you see in here?
Agua.
What's that word?
Agua.
Oh.
Agua. Right. Para agua means water that runs to water. And that would make sense because didn't I just show you the rivers? How they come together? This was the map of Uruguay, right? Uruguay? Uruguay goes up and then you have the Rio Parana. The Rio Parana connects to the country of Paraguay. Let me show you. So here is the Parana River. Can you see how it makes a natural border? Okay. Then we have the Rio Paraguay, the Paraguay River, right? It divides the country of Paraguay right in half. 2/3, if not more, of the people in Paraguay live here in the southern half. Such a small percentage lives up top, because this is where we also have part of the Gran Chaco. This is also included in that. And you can see we have Brazil on this side, Bolivia, and Argentina. There was a triple alliance war. All three of these countries fought over territory. Who was going to get what? In fact, one of the wars that Paraguay had with Bolivia, it killed off 2/3 of all the males in Paraguay. Can you imagine that? It was like the 1860s or whatever. But it was all about land and all about the Gran Chaco.
Chaco!
I got nothing. The Itapu Dam is hugely important. In the video, they talk to you about Iguazu Falls. Iguazu Falls is the waterfall that's made up of the most falls, I guess I should say, like rivers and what have not. Over 275 different sources of water come together to make this waterfall. 275 rivers. That's Iguazu Falls. So what happens is when Iguazu Falls comes down into Paraguay, they take that, they capture all the water's energy, and it's a hydroelectric dam. That's pretty good size. And then all that hydroelectricity is saved and sold to other countries. Does that make sense?
How many rivers? 200?
Like 270 some. I think it was 275 when I looked at it. But this makes sense with the name of the country, right? Water that flows into water. It makes a lot of sense. So if we talk about this part of Paraguay, and we talk about this part of Bolivia and Brazil, it also has one of the largest wetlands called Pantanal, the Pantanal wetlands, the biggest in South America. And I just thought these lilies were awesome to include in that. I thought they were pretty neat. Obviously, they're not the biggest water lilies, because where do you find those? Brazil and the Amazon. But they were pretty awesome. Some other interesting facts about Paraguay. There is still a law in place where two people can duel. You can have a shootout. The only exception to it is that you have to be organ donors. I thought that was kind of interesting.
How do you spell lily pads?
Lily. How about any questions? I'm going to check my notes here because I think I forgot something. But how about any questions on Paraguay and Uruguay? The capitals. The capital of Uruguay is what?